Call this regular meeting of the board to order, starting with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Adoption of agenda. It is recommended that the agenda of the August 14th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Approval of minutes. Recommended that the minutes of the July 10th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Statement, questions from the public? None?
No.
Administrative recommendation. Claims. It is recommended that the prepaid and July claims numbered 103,479 through 103,618 be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Personnel. It's recommended that Samantha Jennings be approved for hire as a bus driver for the upcoming school year.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that Candace Doherty be approved for hire as a bus driver for the upcoming school year.
Candace has been subbing for us as a driver, and due to the need in our department, she's going to take a regular route for us this year.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It's recommended that John Doolin be approved for hire as a bus driver for the upcoming school year.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that Riley Garcia be approved for hire as an instructional assistant at Southeast Fountain Elementary for the 25-26 school year.
Riley is a recent graduate of Purdue University. I say that with pride. She is looking forward to using her experience as a camp counselor with us here in our resource department.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that Shelby Pierce Fisher Rowe be approved for hire as a life skills assistant for the 25-26 school year.
Shelby has 3 students in our corporation. She was previously employed here through our transportation department. And we look forward to having her in our life skills department. So,
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the resignation of Natalie Carnahan be approved.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the resignation of Greg Dean be approved.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the resignation of Kelsey Frazee be approved.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the resignation of Tracy Minnick be approved.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the resignation of Brian York be approved.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? On to quotes. It's recommended that the quote from Bi-State Asphalt Company in the amount of $29,800 be approved.
This was one of the emergency approvals that I had to do before I was able to bring it to you because they were able to repair several areas of our parking lot before school started.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the quote from Acorn Sound Technology in the amount of $54,711 be approved.
This is the company that did the sound in other areas of our building that we have enjoyed and appreciated. And this is to be done in our pool area where we currently do not have a very good sound system.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the quote from Lee Company in the amount of $37,630 be approved.
These are for bleachers in our pool area as we're upgrading the pool area and working on that. This is adding to that project.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Other business, it is recommended that the restructuring of the maintenance department by eliminating the director of maintenance position be approved.
School board policy number 201, titled Superintendent, says the execution of all decisions concerning operations of the school system is delegated to the superintendent. And policy number 202, review of administrative decisions, says in situations which arise where the board has provided no policy, such as if I can eliminate a position, the superintendent shall have the power to act, but the decisions shall be subject to review by action of the board at its regular or special meeting. So I'm asking, you have had a chance to see what I'm doing with restructure in there. And so I'm asking you to approve what I've done now that you've reviewed it.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the approval is granted for Airmark to increase adult meals for the 25-26 school year. Prices will reflect the following amounts: breakfast, $2.95, lunch, $5.20.
The way those prices came up, it was not something that Aramark comes up with. Each year, the state sends out to school districts and food service providers an amount that they have determined the minimum we can charge. The state looks at the federal reimbursement rate for free lunch, the menu certification rate, the value of the USDA donated foods, and an amount for the severe need lunch rate. They put all that together, and that's where they get the minimum price amount. For example, the minimum adult amount for breakfast is $2.94, but Aramark's requesting $2.95 just because of the penny, and the same thing with the lunch rate. So those are not set by Aramark per se, they're set by the state.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the Southeast Fountain School Corporation Daycare, Mini Mustangs Academy, open their remaining spots to community families outside of the school corporation for the 25-26 school year.
Okay, we will have an order of preference for accepting enrollment. First and foremost, it's for the infants and toddlers of Southeast Fountain staff or students. Available spots, second would go to Aramark employees who work at our campus. Third would be to families who have students currently enrolled in our district who want to enroll their younger children at the daycare. And then if spots remain after that, it would be families residing within our district boundaries. The cost for staff is an employee benefit. So it is still the lowest cost because that's part of their benefits. But the cost for others is just slightly higher, and it's still less than the average cost of daycare in the region.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the donation from MasterGuard be recognized and approved.
MasterCard has donated to me 50 Walmart gift cards with a total value of $1,250 to be used for some appreciation activities.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the donation from VacSource LLC be recognized and approved. This donation will be deposited into the Fountain Central High School ECA.
The donation is for $1,600 to be applied to the future purchase of football equipment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the fundraiser request from Fountain Central High School swim team be approved.
They have two fundraisers. The first is to sell blankets, Mustang blankets. The fundraising goal is $2,000, and they're hoping to use that for equipment, swimsuits, etc. And the second fundraiser is Chuck-a-Duck. You'll throw a rubber duck into a hula hoop during diving warm-ups, and it's a 50-50 for the winner who gets it in there. They do not have a set fundraising goal, but they would like to use the funds raised for equipment, senior night, and warm-ups.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? All right, time for our very first school year, Southeast Fountain Elementary School.
We're glad to be back. I'm sure if you set foot on the campus over the summer, it looks a lot different than it did just a couple weeks ago. We underwent a lot of construction, and we want to thank Mr. Davenport for helping with all of that. He doesn't like to take a lot of credit, but with construction, comes a lot of bumps in the road, and he handles those with grace. We appreciate it because we think it looks really great in here. And that's also contributed to Tanya Keith, our head custodian, her team. They didn't have a lot of time to get all the dust and things out of the classrooms and ready. But they worked hard, and our teachers pitched in, and we had a really great turnout for back to school night in a shiny new building for it. But we weren't empty completely over the summer. We had our first IREAD 3 summer school back in June. Tiffany Hilke, Carrie Bowers, and Kayla Beavers hosted 27 students who are at risk for not passing the IREAD 3. And of those 27, 8 of them passed at the end of that summer school, and that brings our incoming third grade rate to 69% passing already before they even get to third grade. It also brings our third grade up to 91% passing. So we're very, very proud of that and appreciate their work. Our life skills team from our school, as well as Covington, also went through TEACH training through Indiana University. So for 2 days, they learned a lot of new strategies and techniques to use in their classrooms. That'll continue throughout the semester, so the trainer comes back 4 different times to not only give new information, but also kind of observe and make tweaks and support them in those roles. When the school started, we welcomed over 30 new students, a few of those kindergartners that we didn't see at Roundup, and we welcomed 87 kindergarten students. So a really nice big class that we're excited to see. So overall, we think it's gonna be a really great year, and we're glad to be back.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Fountain Central Junior Senior High School update.
Yeah, I want to echo Mrs. Morgan's sentiments about our maintenance and our custodians and Mr. Davenport in terms of helping us to get ready for the start of school. I mean, a few weeks before we were ready to bring people in, it didn't look like we were going to get there. I was confident in the people that we had doing those things. I hope, Mr. Davenport and I, we've grown close working together over the last several years, and I really feel like he's getting close to wanting to block my number, and probably isn't as thrilled to hear from, when a call's coming through, he's probably got a little trepidation, but no, all jokes aside, I'm super appreciative of what we were able to do over there to get us ready, and our building does look good, and Our common areas with our new floor, the ceiling grids all put back together. We're all anxious to get things wrapped up and move out of this construction phase, but I'm certainly appreciative. In addition to that, I just wanted to share some things that we have going on in our building and what our focus has been for back to school. We adopted a theme for our students this year of be accountable, be respectful, and be engaged. We opened the year with this. Realistically, I was communicating with our staff throughout the summer. We put out 4 newsletters that we asked our staff to review during the summer months. We gave them the option to review it then or spend that time reviewing it when we came back to school. And we reinforced that message with our first staff meeting. We shared it with students all week this week, and they'll hear more about it tomorrow. We just want to continue to reinforce that throughout the year. Our students should be accountable, respectful, and engaged when they're in our building. It's been a really positive start to the school year and focusing on those things. As a staff, we're really focused on just doing simple better. We've made some adjustments to our instructional and grading practices, so we had consistency. Obviously, our electronic device policy, we've been stringent on that since before it was even mandated by the state. However, technology evolves, loopholes present themselves, closed every one of those up, and eliminated a lot of gray area. We updated our discipline policy, which Mr. Wolf and I are pleased with what we put together on paper. Obviously, an idea on paper has to be put into practice as well. And then finally, we created a system to allow for improved academic intervention during our student resource time, which is 30 minutes, 4 days of the week. This is year 25 for me in education, and I hope I'm learning a little bit as I go along. Our business is a people business. We're teaching young people how to be academics, but we're also teaching them how to be productive members of society, to be good citizens, and then that takes a lot of care and a lot of finesse. It's the same when you're dealing with the adults in our building. Those things take a lot of care and a lot of finesse as well. That said, the approach over there that we're taking this year is a business-like approach and just creating consistent systems for us to operate in. And what I've told our staff is those consistencies within those systems, it's not to stifle you, it's to give you freedom, because then you don't have to worry about all the little details. We've got those systems in place. And I'm really excited about the direction that we're trying to take our school. It's always been a great place. It was great before I got here, but I want to make it better. So I feel privileged to be leading the building over there, and looking forward to a great school year.
Thank you very much. Students will begin the student report next month. So on to discussion items.
I just want to give you a summary of the changes, movement within our district. At the end of last year and before this year started, we had 12 non-certified staff either retire, resign, or be terminated, and 4 certified staff leave the district. For the start of this year, I'm just going to quickly go through all of our new hires and welcome them again. Our new certified hires: Shelby Marshall, Taylor Pierce, Rebecca Thomas, Christopher Short. Our new non-certified hires: Maddie Jackson, Riley Beadle, Hannah Lamb, Samantha McClure, JT Scroggins, Jenny Jordan, Lewis Sorry. Shelby Figeroux, Riley Garcia, Samantha Jennings, Candace Doherty, and John Doolin. Our temporary hires: Josie Harshberger, Katie Kraut she's one of our employees, but she's going to do something else temporarily this year. And other elementary movement, Kristen Oppie went from life skills to special ed aid, Angie Young from 5th to 2nd grade, Heather Earls 2nd to 5th, Caleb Beaver 2nd to 3rd, Ashlyn Geigel from 1st to 4th, Abby Hoagland 4th to 5th, Mandy C. from 5th grade to 3rd. Katie Kraut will be covering Ms. Hoagland's maternity leave, and Krista Webb will be covering Michaela Munoz's leave of absence. So So even though we didn't have a lot of changes, we do have a number of staff that are moving into different venues within our district, and we're excited for them and for the great things that will happen with those changes. Moving on with statements from the superintendent. First of all, congratulations to Fountain Central. First of all, Fountain County, again for at least second year, maybe third year in a row, has the highest graduation rate in the state of Indiana. So congratulations, and thank you to the elementary school, because those kiddos would not be graduating if it were not for the foundation that they got at the start of their schooling. So good job. I want to say thank you to all of our staff for flexibility as they're living through a construction zone. Things were in great disarray as staff returned. Some have had to hunt for furniture or other items which were moved throughout the summer. Teachers couldn't get in quite so early to prepare their rooms, yet the rooms and buildings looked welcoming and wonderful for open house and the beginning of the school year. Our teachers are miracle workers. Next, again, he doesn't like to take praise sometimes, but thank you to Josh Davenport, who is managing all of the moving pieces tied to all of the projects taking place. The floors look great. The pool renovations, new gym floor, and HVAC projects are all underway, and Josh is doing an excellent job of managing all of the challenges that have been encountered along the way. Josh cannot control delays and the surprises that are encountered throughout the projects, but he works hard to hold our contractors on task and accountable, and works with building leaders to facilitate all of the movement needed for the projects. So thank you, Josh. Thank you to Megan Fischerow, our nurse at Fountain Central. She stopped me after school on day one. The Fountain Central nurse's office was one of the first rooms where the new HVAC was installed. She wanted to tell me how wonderful it was to be in a room that wasn't too hot or too cool, and I truly appreciate her feedback. I have a colleague acknowledgement to share from Angie Doherty. She had an unexpected last-minute resignation from a driver after all route changes had been finalized, and it was on Friday, and school was beginning on Monday. 3 drivers, Dwayne Bush, April Bush, and Tammy Pyle, each reached out to Angie right away to offer support and to volunteer to transport students from that route that no longer had a driver. It is so wonderful to work in a district where we all want to support each other in any way that we can. And then finally, a thank you to Angie Doherty. There's a bus driver shortage everywhere, and districts are struggling to find ways to cover all routes. Since the end of the school year last summer, we have had a number of drivers who have retired or resigned, and Angie has worked nonstop to revise routes and reduce the number of routes in order to save money and be more efficient. With the curveball she got on Friday, she worked throughout the weekend to come up with a new plan to get all students picked up until a replacement bus driver could be found. And miraculously, a neighboring district reached out Monday because they had an applicant but didn't have a vacancy. Angie immediately reached out to the candidate and was able to hire him for our district. But she has just continually worked to look how she can save costs for the district with our transportation. I truly appreciate it.
That's it. Okay. Statements or concerns from the board?
I just want to say thank you for the daycare. It was exciting to get to vote for that. All the work that went into making that happen. I think that's an awesome thing that our school is offering to our community. So I think that's wonderful. And also thanks to the transportation department at Angie, because these challenges are everywhere. And so really, really appreciate her and all the bus drivers getting everybody here. And great job on the I-read percentage. That's awesome.
I want to kind of link on to what Dr. Grimes said about thanking our staff and administrators. I know this was not an easy summer to get through and get back started, but as she said, as I see pictures and we walk through the school and I didn't hear a lot of scuttlebutt the first few days, so it takes a lot of work, and we want to give you guys a lot of credit for that, and know that you're all very appreciated by us to run this school for us and make sure our kiddos are getting the education that they need, and the attention and the love. And you can see that in you guys' faces and in your voices when you're talking. Just know that's very, very appreciated. I give a special thank to Josh. I know he doesn't like this, but he's learning a lot this year, not just about education. So I know it's a struggle, Josh. This is good for your future. You're going to be a veteran at construction projects by the time we get through this.
It's going on my resume.
It's going on your resume. You don't need a resume. We're not allowing you to have a resume. But yes, seriously, thank you. And then second, I want to send a thanks out to Greg Dean. I know, he's been our basketball coach for the last 4 years, I think. Had some good success here. And not just as a basketball coach, but as a person. Greg was a really good guy. Had good relationships with his players. You could just tell he cared about the school and the players. So I want to give him a thanks and wish him luck at his next venture. And then I want to welcome Coach Lou to the program. I'm pretty excited about getting him, right? He's a good coach, has a lot of history, and I think he'll be good for our program. So looking forward to all the athletics, but especially, watching Lou take that program and move it to the next level. So that's all I had. Document signing we have finished, so got a motion for adjournment.
Motion.